I just wanted to do this for a while this summer. Walk up to, it's called Great Hogra Beck, so this is the best way to get to it in my opinion, along the track. It's a bit windy for the audio, so we're heading along this track which is quite well defined to not that first slash in the moor. I think that might be called Little Hogra Beck, which is actually quite interesting. But the second one, would you believe I've only been to it a couple of times. We live only about a mile away from it. It's bloody inaccessible, that's why. But it's very interesting because a lot of old rocks and things tumbling down into the ravine. So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going to do this yesterday and it was really gloomy, and it got to sort of 3 o'clock. I thought, blimey, it's getting dark, because you do need reasonable light because you're down in this gully. So I'm not quite sure. So the worst of it is I decided to put my wellies on, because firstly you've got to get across the beck, but it won't be, it'll be quite boggy up there. I would normally have had my quite good walkie boots on, but I decided against it. So you'll see it's about 1 kilometre along this track. So now we're in the upper part of, well, not the upper part of Baysdale, but the upper part of the moor at Baysdale. We're dropping down towards Baysdale Beck in there. I noticed there's a lot of regeneration going on. Looks like some of it's been planted though, so if it's oaks and things. And that's where we're heading for, which is Great Hogra Beck in that gully. And that's Baysdale, the conifer plantations of Baysdale. I keep noticing a surprising lot of, there's one just over the hill there, like Christmas tree type trees. I think the Sitka spruce look like it's Sitka. There's some sort of spruce. And I thought, well, somebody must have planted them, but I saw 1 or 2 in the heather down here that were much smaller and almost certainly had grown themselves, so it could well be they're just growing naturally. We had a rather difficult walk to get down to this point in Baysdale Beck, to say the least, because it's like a big boulder field down that slope with a lot of bracken. Anyway, we made it, no broken legs. So this is a massive old juniper, which I remember. It looks like there's a bush there, a bush there, a bush there, there, and right over there. But it's actually all one massive bush which has sort of toppled outwards. There's quite a few junipers up Baysdale, and this might be one of the highest, one's highest up. It must be absolutely ancient because they don't grow very fast. But there's very few junipers left on the North York moors. They have been doing some sort of recovery program for them by taking cuttings and seeds and things. But there are other places not that far away, for example in Swaledale, with basically a whole hillside covered in them like gorse bushes. So they're not unheard of. They have some uses as to do with gin, the berries I believe. This bit of wall is about the first part I've seen, which is a survival of how this wall was originally built. It must be about 100 years old, and it goes all the way from up here, top high up in Baysdale, right down to the ford. But virtually the whole way it's almost completely down to a pile of rubble. But here, this is the only bit I've seen with it. It gives an idea of the style they used. Quite a substantial and well built wall, but virtually zero maintenance. I don't quite know where they've got this stone from. It must have been carted in. This side, go further up now, and I've just climbed over a fence. I guess it was actual Baysdale. Might be Baysdale, say it's a relatively new fence within about 15 years old. And we're in the real wild part now. We're right near where I want to be across the river to get up the Hogra Beck. But it's really rough walking. This is about the easiest I've been. So you need to be thinking about ticks. You certainly want covered legs, because it's really scratchy as well, this bracket. It's quite tough hard stuff. And I know the river is deep enough that I don't really want to go into it with boots on, so I've got my wellies on. So there's quite a substantial gill up there. I'm not sure this is the best place to cross through, because where it comes out is just here. So finally, after about an hour of rough walking, this is the bottom of the Great Hogra Beck. There's been quite a bit of oak planting up there in little groups, but further up it's really quite dense woodland, and I'm really quite looking forward to having a look at here again, not having seen it for 20 some years. Now we're in the thick of the ravine, Great Hogra, and it's absolutely magical really. The light has been pretty good. We keep getting bursts of sunshine, but even now it's so shady on this side there, which is more or less north facing or northeast facing. There isn't a whole lot of good light left, because you kind of want it touching the trees in the distance, I suppose. Not bad, huh? I don't think it's worth going further up than here, because I know what happens. You actually quite soon come out onto the upper moor. It's just a scattering tree. It's still interesting. Because I know it's awfully difficult to get back down. But this is probably the star place, so I'm going to spend a bit of time here. So I'm just doing a few longer exposures, like up to a second, of this rather heavenly spot, which has these massive boulders with the water cascading over. There's enough leaves there. I thought we were going to be a bit short of autumn leaves because it's still quite early in the season, but there's plenty really on those stones, so it's very nice. We've got this boulder here is really nice in itself, but it doesn't particularly warrant being put in the scene. This is the star, just the way that water cascades down there. It's just a bit annoying, there's some twiggy bits in the way. You feel guilty breaking them off, but they're only dead, sticky bits of heather or strawberry or something. And it's quite nice just really. I'd sort of like the way it's hitting that rock at the bottom, and just have a few shots of that.